Alright, so here we go, guys. Not starting again. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys on video the full process of what really happens when this car doesn't start and my fix for it. So by the way, this key is broken in half. It doesn't hold together, but for the purposes of the video and so I could try to start it with one hand, I put the pieces back together, but it doesn't really hold. It's still pretty loose, but so I'm going to show you what happens. Let's see if I can. The key is kind of breaking a little bit, but it's not. I have to hold the piece of the key, the halves together, but it's not. It clicked a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that just right there like that. Let's open the hood. See if I can do this with one hand, all one shot, no edits. Okay, so, oh shit. So I'm trying to do that. Okay, so I got this. Now I just gotta get this. This is where I keep my jumper wire tied up. So starter's stuck. Let's try this. Okay, got it freed up. I don't know why I have to do that to free it up, but for some reason it works. So back to the key here. Let's try it again. Oh, still not. Oh. Let's try that again. Oh, come on. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Why isn't it starting? Come on. Start. Oh, fuck. Alright guys, so here's where we're at now, and I believe I finally figured this car out. Again. So, I finally got it started. I drove it, and then I shut it off, and then it wouldn't start again. So, what I've come to the conclusion is, I'm having ignition problems as well. Now, some of you guys were telling me earlier on that I was having ignition problems from the start. Now, here's a little bit of a backstory to put this into context for you guys. My previous two Fords, my 1984 Ford Tempo and my 1994 Ford Escort station wagon, both had ignition problems that I both fixed myself. I know what ignition problem symptoms are. The 1984 Ford Tempo, the turn signals would stop working, and I remember this very distinctly. I was having to use the hand signals out the window because I had a temp job that I had picked up off of Craigslist in LA at the time that I was driving to and from Long Beach, and I couldn't even use my turn signals, but somehow I was able to still get the car started. The car would still start, okay? So then with the 1994 Ford Escort wagon, it was starting to have problems, and I ended up, with both of the cars, I ended up taking apart the entire ignition cylinder and everything and like redoing the whole connection and like swapping parts around or something. Forget what I did exactly, but it was a pretty involved process. So what I'm saying is, my point is, my point here is, I've been through this before twice. So what seemed to be, the problems that I was having didn't seem to be ignition problems. My turn signals were still working and everything, and like the car wasn't like shutting off in the middle of driving like that or something. Well, I was having other problems with the evap system, but I got some of that fixed. I actually replaced the charcoal canister, or I picked up a used one at the junkyard and got a little bit of footage of that too, so I'll be uploading that. So I fixed that issue. But anyway, there's just so many issues. This is what I'm saying. I'm just drowning in so many fucking problems. So it didn't seem like I had any ignition issues. So, and what happened was, the first time when I was trying to go basically say farewell to my dying cat at the vet, I couldn't get the car started. And so I finally had gotten this jumper wire. I finally figured all this out, and I started touching it to the terminal there. And I didn't get it on video because I was just too concerned with trying to get to my dying cat. It was just making like a click clunk, click clunk, click clunk, like specifically from the like area that I literally had just come from underneath the car, hooking that little clip into the starter solenoid. That whole little area, that whole starter was going click clunk, click clunk, click clunk, click clunk. And I was doing that so many times that I actually ran the battery voltage down to about 8 volts, so low that I couldn't even lock the doors anymore because the entire car's computer system had shut down, and I couldn't, because it's so crazy how these new cars are. It's all electronic, in the old days you just pull up on the lever or something, but I literally couldn't lock or unlock doors anymore, and it was starting to get really scary. And so what happened is, I ended up, because I called someone over to help give me a jump start, and because I had been doing the click clunk, click clunk, click clunk, click clunk, click clunk thing so many times, when I'd finally gotten enough voltage, that was enough to free it up. Okay, so now I'm at a point where I can do my little zapping trick, this, and it's still not going to start. See if I can keep the key in one piece here. Yep, it's still... So, I've come up with a new solution for this, because it seems like I'm having ignition problems now too, because it's not even sending the signal anymore, because if the starter is turning over now, because... God damn, I don't get this. So, but the starter literally was stuck. It was doing that click clunk, and not, instead of like actually cranking over and, spinning. So now I got this new trick that I've got to start the car. Let me just stick this in here real quick. I might end up having to actually install a push button in here just to be able to start the damn car. So now, let me see if I can get this all in one shot. So now, to start the car, gotta grab my wire up here. If you guys can't see that. Well, anyway, I can't show that, really. It's kind of hard, but now it's gotten to the point. I don't want that to touch the body of the car. Don't want to short the whole thing out. This is crazy what I'm having to go through. So now I put the key in. I go to crank. And that's how I get the car started now.